but now I am. Don't you worry. We got ourselves the grand finals. We're ready to go. We're here. We're happy to see the grand finals of KSL week number 25. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Dragon Scales, it is our red Terran player for Abydos, Cure. Been looking very strong today. His opponent, though, no slouch either. Some people say he's looking like he's back in his best form. Dragon Kites Gaming, it's herO. Very excited to be here. Friendly reminder to everybody out there to hit that follow button on Twitch, subscribe on the YouTubes, and if you like this kind of content, you want to support these players and support the KSL, check out our Patreon. We are completely community funded. We have this event open to casting from the community. We've got lots of people joining us for casting every single week. Some content creators taking the best games, making those YouTube videos y'all love to see out there. Loco, Winner, the Pig. Got Steadfast casting, the Cranky Ducklings, Dave Testa. Lots of good stuff. We even have French and Spanish casting tonight as well. You'll love to see it. And Korean, actually. Into the Inuas joined us for the grand finals. We really do appreciate that support. Thanks to that support, we've been able to keep this tournament going for nearly 6 months. We're about to hit the halfway point, which would be 26 weeks. And to celebrate the halfway point, we've got the $4,500 SummerSlam in just a few days. Hoping to get that to $5,000. Really, really stoked on that. It'll be the biggest tournament I've ever put on before, with some of the best players in the world, including both of these players. Cure making it to the finals of this one, secures his spot in the round of 12 of the KSL SummerSlam. herO actually going to be straight into the round of 8 because he has a lot of points, because he's won a lot of KSLs. But anyways, let's get into this game. It's been a fairly chill opener. Couple of Reapers going to jump in and get shoved away by the Adept, but they are going to get joined by a Hellion and might be able to find a way in. Cure already today took down Estrella and Ragnarok to get here. Some very solid players, but not the hardest road for sure. herO, I think, had maybe a bit of a harder road. Ooh. I'll talk about his road in a moment here, as this Hellion, well, he's on the road right now, on the road to a lot of probe kills. Got 2 of them already, 3 probes in total going down as the Hellion hits the main. It's only got 2 hit points though, so I don't think it's going to get much more done. But it gets in there, scouts the Phoenixes coming out from herO. And now Cure can appropriately defend with a Viking, with some Widow Mines back at home, and some Marines coming out. And oh my goodness, that Widow Mine already got the hit, sending that Phoenix away in sadness. But herO took down Dark in the semifinals. That's been a many-time KSL Grand Finals. Kind of cool to see that in the semis. And actually already took down a big Terran today in Gumiho in the round of 8. herO looking very, very strong. I don't know, I'm excited to see this one. Should be a good one between these two. Already off to a little bit of, well, just a little back and forth here. A few probes, a few early game units out of Cure. See if the Phoenixes can get anything done. Usually the Phoenixes lead themselves into Colossi. We're seeing herO actually bring it back a little bit. This is kind of old meta. Getting into that Twilight Council and going for charge instead. And I wonder if he's doing this specifically because it won't be expected by Cure. So, just to run us through the history a little bit here. It used to be if you saw a Protoss getting Phoenixes, they'd get into the Robo, get into Colossi, Phoenix Colossus. That was the build, that was the strat. That's what you did. Players started going for heavy charge lots instead of the Colossi. So they do Phoenix charge lot. They ended up working pretty decently. Maybe not the most common thing we saw, but we'd see it occasionally. Colossi fell out of favor. More recently, Colossi have come back into favor. Phoenix Colossus is actually a very popular way to play this matchup right now. herO's like, hey, when Phoenix Colossus was popular, Phoenix Chargelot ended up being pretty good. Let's try it again. And he's just going for it. Cure back at home is just building up right now. But we see the effect those Phoenixes have had. Cure got this Raven out. This Raven is for the Colossi. Now, it can anti-armor missile the Zealots. That can be quite strong. Auto turrets can do kind of okay if the Marine Marauder buffering for them. They don't really have many hit points. And actually, against the Phoenixes can't do anything against the auto turrets. But they're really there to interference matrix the Colossi. And, well, there's no Colossi to interference matrix. I guess they could hit the Immortals, and that is about that. But herO, he's not playing passively. He wants to be very aggressive here. He's got the proxy pylon. His third Nexus is finishing up, but he's warping in on the other side of the map. Oh, the Widow Mines are not burrowed. The auto turrets do drop down, but the Immortals make short work of them. The Widow Mines do go off on a few of the Zealots, and it looks like most of the Zealots are gone now, but the Immortals are just chewing through the rest of this. The Phoenix is picking up what bio is left, and suddenly Cure has absolutely nothing. herO just overrunning this army, and I mean, that is it. There's 2 Immortals and Zealots in this base. The Phoenixes, I mean, they can only do so much here, but can Cure really stay in this game for that long? He does only lose a couple of SCVs. Somehow, the Immortals and the Zealots only kill 2 SCVs. Cure is getting a few more bio units out now, but look at the Phoenix count. There are 8 of them out in the skies. They are just going to be able to regen that energy so quickly. And how does Cure defend this with, sorry, what is this? 6 Marines and a Viking. Oh, I don't know that he does. The Marines are getting picked up. The Widow Mines, though, not quite happening. The other side of the map, the Viking goes for a little landing action. Gets a few probe kills. Now, that being said, herO is solidly on 3 bases. Still building workers. He's got 56 of them out now. And Cure, he's trying to stabilize on his 2 bases. He's got a good worker count, but his 3rd CC starts up so late, and his army just isn't much. It's mostly Widow Mines at this point. He's got 6 Widow Mines, 6 Marines, and 6 Marauders. That's kind of a wild split of units. But with that Viking dead, there's nothing to threaten herO on his side of the map. The Marines do push the Phoenixes away, but there's still 9 of them up here. And now the Colossi are coming out. There's no more interference matrix. Cure is just going to be on heavy bio. This is a lot of Marauders, though. The 2 Immortals are going to be really, really key here. Cure just going Marauder Immortal, or a Marauder Widow Mine, rather, to counter this. And oh, the Widow Mines! One of them does go off. Doesn't quite get a Phoenix kill, though. And the Phoenixes are going to pick off a Widow Mine, get a few SCVs. Nearly got a medevac there. What is happening? Why are there so many barracks on the production tab? Oh, okay. There were 2 sets of 2 barracks on the production tab. I didn't understand why. I think something might have gotten broken with that. Is that a new bug? Do we need to submit that to Ollie? And what these Phoenixes are doing now, they're trying to pick off reinforcements. They're trying to pick off any of those units that lag behind. Ooh, Widow Mines, though. Doing some connections here. Cure's army is on the other side of the map, but look at this ground army. Oh, the Colossi don't quite have their range yet. The Widow Mine's gonna burrow. They're gonna go up on the Immortals and the Stalkers. The Stalkers try to blink out of it. The Phoenixes show up, and suddenly there's no Marines left. Nothing that shoots up. The Colossus and Immortal look like they might fall here. As the Phoenixes are out of juice, the Colossus does go down. Cure getting some really crucial kills here. So it looks like the Phoenixes are out of lift-up energy for the time being. And he kills the important units, but he also lost his important units. All the medevacs, all the bio going down, all those Widow Mines as well. And the Phoenixes, they're going to regain that energy. They still have a lot of versatility at this point. It's very hard to defend Phoenixes when you just have such a low unit count. Cure says screw it. He's going to send a medevac across the map, but unfortunately it's going to run into some Blink Stalkers. Oh, actually don't think that herO spotted that. These Widow Mines could get some big damage. The Phoenixes, again, they're just picking up some of these reinforcements that are coming out. And herO is going to hit this third base. The Bio doesn't feel like it can win this fight. The base gets lifted, but that actually doesn't save it at all. The Widow Mines, though, are going to burrow and just slaughter this probe line. Only 8 probes going down, though, and 2 of the Widow Mines died to the cannon. The medevac is very low. And that was a dead third command center here. So while Cure got some damage on the other side of the map, it's a consolation prize. It's 8 probes. herO's on 4 bases. And that's all the damage it's going to be as the Phoenixes come home, clean up that medevac. And it feels like herO should just be able to run away with this one. The supply is telling a big story here. herO is way ahead. It's 2 bases to 4, 55 to 74 workers. Cure's army is still quite strong. He's got 1-1. He's getting ghosts out. But he needs to take not just one really good fight, but like 2 or 3. Ooh, the EMP is going to be really nice on those Phoenixes. They die very, very quickly. But I feel like, again, even if Cure somehow pushes through this, and he looks like he might be able to, the Marauders actually cleaning up these last few Colossi. Oh my god, Marauders are so good, but they won't be able to finish them all up. Colossi gonna move back, a few more Stalkers warp in. herO just has so much more resupply ability, I think, but he's spending all of his money on a 5th base. herO, bud, you're up 2 bases, you actually don't need another one. I feel like herO might be overstepping a little bit here. Obviously, went ahead, get more ahead, but you don't want to do it at the sacrifice of your army. And all of those buildings could have just been another few units. I guess it's not going to matter, though. I got a little bit scared there when those army supplies were so similar. But Cure, recognizing that the Colossi are going to be very strong against the SCV pull, he waited maybe a little bit too long to counter push. herO gets a couple more warp-ins, and he's going to have enough to hold. Again, the problem is Cure doesn't need to win one good fight. He needs to win a bunch in a row sequentially in order to take that game. You know, he needs to win a fight, kill a base, win another fight, maybe kill another base, and then maybe he could have won. It's a tall order. But we're going to get into game 2 here. It's a very interesting game. That game 1 from herO. I really, really like that attack he did. That attack, honestly, I mean, that was kind of the end of the game. He attacked, cleaned up Cure's army. He lost a lot in the meantime, herO did, but, I mean, with the 3rd base finishing behind that, it felt like Cure was going for a big 2-base push. herO just completely snuffed out whatever that push was going to be. The Phoenix is able to stay on that side of the map, keep picking off units, spending their energy lifting those reinforcements constantly. It's usually it can be kind of tough to be out of Phoenix energy, but it's a sign that that player is constantly lifting, especially when there's 8 or 9 Phoenixes and they're out of juice. That just means that they're using those Phoenixes to their fullest potential, and it's a tough thing to fight against, as this Terran found out last game. In the upper right-hand corner, down 0-1 in this grand finals, it's Cure. His opponent in the lower left-hand corner, taking that first game, looking to win yet another KSL. It is Dragon Kites's herO. Take a look real quick at just how many of these herO has won. He currently has 6 victories and 3 second places. The only person with more points than him, more finals appearances, is Dark. Cure has 1 win, and I think, yeah, I think that's it. He has 1 win, maybe a couple of, a few semifinals appearances, actually. This is only the 2nd finals Cure has made it to. He won the last one over Dark but we'll see if he can do that against herO this game. Whoop. Oh, that poor probe. Got blocked in. Look at this SCV pulled off of the barracks in order to build that depot. That's such a rude move. But I guess rude probes deserve rude moves. Factory before CC here for Cure. Might mean something cheeky is in the pipeline. It's definitely a safer build if you wanted to play defensively, but it's good for herO to get this scout. For a while we were seeing Terrans put the second depot down so early the probe couldn't get an easy scout. I always thought that was kind of a cute move, especially if it was a quick CC after it. Reaper jumps up, Reaper jumps down. Can't explain that. Cure once again opening with the double Reaper into Hellion build. The good old classic. And it's another Stargate out of herO. I do feel like that Phoenix build with the charge lots ended up playing really well against what Cure was doing. Obviously, it did great in the game, but I don't know if it would do super well against some of the other potential builds Cure could go for. And this looks like just a Widow Mine drop opener. I actually think Phoenixes are great against Widow Mine drop openers. But it is Oracle this time. The Reaper's going to try to dive into the main base and get some damage here as the Hellion is posturing out front. It looks like those Reapers get one kill. The Hellion a little late to diving in here, actually. He's going to get a second kill. This time the Hellion escapes, so 2 kills instead of the 3 last game. The Hellion at least temporarily escapes. Oracle decides to be kind and not kill it. Ooh, Cure with the sneaky Widow Mine. Rut-row Raggy. Oh, herO's so good. How did he do that? He's too good, man. I can't believe it. Oh, no, there's only 4 Marines here, but the Viking coming out at a crucial moment and getting that kill. 1 SCV does go down. The Adepts, though, going to shade to the back of the mineral line. They get a second kill. But I think they're going to die here. One of them dies. The other one... Oh, it's going to die to this Cyclone. Can it get a kill first? Yeah, he gets one more kill before dying. The Oracle, though. Sneaky, sneaky kill. Let's take a look at what's going on here. Honestly, the trade's very, very close. Both players losing a handful of units. An even smaller handful of workers. The Adept's going to try to get some more damage done, but not really likely to get much. Gets a Marine and an SCV. What a pro. herO, in the meantime, taking the 3rd base, getting into Phoenixes now. Is it 2 Oracles? Just the 1 Oracle. I think the other Oracle died to the Viking. Oh, 2 Oracles have died. Oh, man. And Cure's just going to push across the map. He's got a Liberator on the way with this as well. And you know what? Phoenixes can be really good soaking Oracles. The Oracle is going to hit the other side of the map. herO, he is going to be able to lift up a couple of these units, but he loses a Phoenix for it. 5 SCVs going down in the meantime. Cure needs to get some damage done. There is a shield battery here. Gets locked onto for a second. Cyclone, though, gets picked off. Good micro there from herO. Cure pulling back a little bit late. The Oracle stays alive after its 6 kills, although the Viking is trying to stop that from being the case. Cure still wants to put some pressure on, but is waiting for this siege tank right now. That's going to give herO time to build up a little bit more, warp in a few more units. Fear Dragon, thank you so much for the raid, my friend. I hope you had a lovely stream. I didn't even know Fear Dragon streamed. If there's one person in the StarCraft community that streams less than me, I feel like it's Fear Dragon. But I appreciate it nonetheless. Oh, the Stalkers move forward. The lift up on the tank. The Liberator getting some good kills, but it does get targeted down. Oh, the Phoenix, though, goes down. And that tank gets a kill as it drops to the ground. Shield battery getting targeted here. The Stalkers maneuvering outside these rings of death. This Liberator chilling at full hit point. I thought it was getting targeted down, but I guess it wasn't. I guess those Stalkers were just fighting against the Marines. Another tank shows up, and suddenly hero's in some trouble. That is going to be a dead shield battery. The Vikings are here to spot as well as to kill any Phoenixes that might show up to lift up these tanks. Charge is on the way, but I don't know if there's going to be time for it. Oh man, there's a lot here for Cure. This is looking like a good game for him. He does not have a third CC back at home. So if herO can stay alive, he could be in an okay spot, but another Liberator and another tank showing up. How does herO fight against this? Honestly, the answer is he doesn't. With no blink, just no units that really do anything here. His army supply is so low, and his army quality is so low. He's just trying to buy time, as much time as possible. He's just waiting as long as possible to take this engagement, knowing that his reinforcements are closer, that he's mining more. But I don't know that it's going to make too much of a difference here. I'm surprised to see Cure dropping 3 more barracks instead of a 3rd command center. But he's starting to put pressure onto this 3rd base. herO needs to go now. He's pulling the Phoenixes. Charge is done. He's going to lift up every single tank. But those tanks are just going to fall back down to the ground in a second. Oh, he's got more lifts available. Once the tanks are gone, the Liberators are going to die. Phoenixes need to finish off these units. I can't believe that tank is still alive. Zealots, in the meantime, heading across the map. Did herO buy enough time? Cure has nothing, man. He's got 15 army supply and something that just died on the other side of the map. He doesn't even have a wall. And I thought herO was fully dead, but he waited and took the perfect engagement. The Zealots doing so well, and now the Charge Lots running across the map and winning the game. Damn. Cure doing the slow push, hoping that herO would just commit into that fight early and try to stop it and end up losing everything. But herO, the patient man, waiting, forcing those tanks to move forward slowly, the Liberators to move forward slowly. By the time they got in range of that Nexus, Charge finished up. There were enough Phoenix. I was actually really surprised to see herO making Phoenixes because the Vikings were out. The Phoenix count had been reduced to 1, but he just pumped out a few more, and he had enough to lift up each and every tank. The Zealots ran forward and just crushed the ground army. Beautiful moves from herO. Oh, excellent engagement. It's so hard to break those kinds of lines. But herO makes it happen. Phoenix Charge Lot once again coming into play. Kind of crazy to see that come back here for herO. And I love it. This is why herO does so well. When the meta gets a little stagnant, that's when herO comes along and changes things up. That's when this man, he comes in here, he says, "What are you guys doing in this matchup?" And everybody's like, "Oh, we're doing this," and it's not working. He says, "Holding my beer." And he comes up with something genius, something nobody else has thought of, except for the last time people thought of it. He says, "Remember this build? This is actually really good. We should just do this one again." It is Dragon Kites Gaming's herO. A patient man. Not something you could always say about herO. He's often been very aggressive, very all-in focused. And it's cool to see him in that last game know how to take the engagements, know how to be the patient Protoss. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner seems to be struggling a little against this Phoenix Charge Lot play out of his opponent. It is Cure, who I feel like maybe 2 weeks ago I would have said takes this match. And now here we are in game 3 and herO is up. Where is this probe going? Is this the normal path it takes? I feel like it would normally cut through. What is herO doing? What is he doing here? Oh my god, Cure's gonna put down a command center? And the probe's here at the perfect time to start hitting this SCV. How? Oh, man. herO's so rude. 2 more SCVs forced to come down to deal with this probe. Very annoying. It is Marine first out of Cure this time. Factory gets put down a little bit quicker because it's Marine first. That does mean that Cure's not going to have that aggression that he had in games 1 and 2, but it didn't seem to work out for him, so I kind of like the change up here out of Cure. What is he going to lead this into? We'll have to wait to find out. Be interested if herO goes for Phoenixes again. Now, herO is not... Yeah, I was going to say. He's not the kind of person I really expect to play the same style every game. Even if it's really working for him. I don't really expect herO to just do the same thing every single time. He's not that kind of player. herO likes to keep things fresh. He might have a standard build that he plays, but he'll have a few different things he can go into also. Whether it's variations on that theme, or in this case, just a completely different tech opener. Instead of going for the Stargate, straight to the Robo. 2 more gates going down as well. He might get a little bit aggressive here. The Adept's pressuring right now, trying to keep this army count low. Oh, and he's going to do a great job of this, actually. Can he kill all of these units? 2 more Marines come down to try to save this one. This Marine has 2 kills and 1 hit point. It's not often you see a unit with more kills than hit points. But this guy, he's got it. Very, very damaged. I wonder what it would feel like to be on 1 hit point. Like in real life, what is 1 hit point? That's scary. But they don't lose hit points over time. You know? So I feel like, I don't know. Is he like almost dead? Or is he just very injured? Still walking around in that exosuit. I don't know. These are the important questions. Here we're going to start warping in on this side of the rocks. It's just a straight up 3-gate robo out of herO. It is on 2 bases. Obviously, it's not a 1-base 3-gate robo. But he's going to put some pressure on. He's going to try to be annoying here. This is a lot of Marines out of Cure, though. The Cyclone pops out as well. And I think herO's going to have to pick up and get out of here. He's just trying to trim off as many units as he can. Fancy pickups into the Prism, but he loses one of the Stalkers. Cure also picks up the Cyclone in the medevac. He says, yeah, I can do it too. Oh, yeah. Oh, you got fancy pickup? Well, your pickup range is huge. My pickup range is like 0, and I can still do it. So maybe get good here. Pretty sure Cure just said all of that to him. The auto turret here, really nice. As these Stalkers try to get real fancy. Oh, but they are getting real fancy. They're getting real low on hit points as well, though. And herO will pick up and get out of there. But he kills the Cyclone. He kills a lot of those Marines. The Raven went down as well as Cure was busy microing the rest of those units. Loses that all-important Raven. Behind this, the Twilight Council going down for herO. He's very focused on the micro, just sitting on the 2-base economy. Oh, my God. Oh! 2 hit points. Actually not fair. That is actually not fair. That Prism got out of there. Oh my God, and now there's 3 Adepts threatening to shade in. 7 SCVs going down. The Adepts will die, but the Prism will get recalled out of there. Gets home, gonna regen those shields. I cannot believe that Prism escaped. Cure was boosting after it, dropping out the Marines, trying desperately to finish off those last few hit points that the Widow Mine left on there. But herO gets away with it, gets away with a bloody murder. That being said, the trade's relatively even. The big thing here is herO's losing like some gateway units that are, you know, they're nice to have, but he's getting into charge, so he's not losing any zealots. He's trading for SCVs and some of these slightly more important early game units. But more Marines have come out for Cure. He's got a lot of Marine production. And probes are turning to fight. The shield battery's not done yet. 6, 7, 8 workers going down. And Cure, he's getting some good counter damage here, getting 10 worker kills. He is going to lose all of these Marines. But finally, Cure gets something done. this last Marine. It's doing its best. Prism on the other side of the map, looking to get something done, but Cure playing very defensively right now. That Prism needs to be very careful. I don't know what these units are doing in the middle of the map. I don't really like it. I'm not a huge fan. What I am a huge fan of, though, is Storm being researched. Now, the scan goes down. Cure spots it. He also scans himself just to make sure. To kill the Observer. But yeah, Cure knows that this is on the way. I don't think he's going to be able to get a Ghost Academy up, though. At least not yet. He's working on an armory so he can... oh, actually, it's probably for the Widow Mines, if I had to guess. He's also got a third command center on the way. herO, that's not even on the way, it's done. herO spots the third CC. herO doesn't have a third base. So, this is a problem for herO. He's got 2 High Templar in this Prism. He's going to morph an Archon. 3rd High Templar out of the Prism. How does he crack this? There's a bunker. There's 2 siege tanks. There's even a turret here. There's Widow Mines. Oh, I don't think he cracks this. He's going to target down the bunker. He gets it, but at the expense of every single one of those Zealots. herO's economy is pretty trash, guys. He can't just afford to trade out units over and over and over again. Storm is really cool, but Cure is not super susceptible to it right now. Oh my god, he's going to drop the Immortal. He loses the Prism, though. No fancy micro here, and no high ground vision for herO. He's getting shelled from up on the high ground. The storms are quite good on the ramp, but GG kept called as Cure just crushes everything in herO's army. Cure with the beautiful defensive setup, recognizing herO just didn't have a third base. He had no follow-up. Cure ready to go. He knew there had to be an attack coming. And he handled it beautifully. I'm really surprised herO actually attacked into that. He had started a third base, and I feel like the answer there is to just contain while you get your third up, get a bunch of units out. herO's army would have been great in an open field with charge lots, High Templar and a Prism with no ghosts out yet. He had an Immortal. He could have gotten a few more of those. I think his army was a lot better in that open field, but attacking into the defensive position, it just wasn't. It wasn't going to work there. But Cure gets a point on the board. He does not get clean swept. Going to make a series of it. And we're going to head to altitude for game number 4. That was kind of a fun one. I'm just so shocked that herO didn't take a third at like any point in that game. I had fully expected him to take a third base at some point. Oh, looks like herO needs a moment. Taking a quick toilet break. Always a good idea to use the bathroom. It was a good time for me to sink into my chair. And once again, remind you guys, hit that subscribe button. Hit that follow button. The like button. Like all the buttons. Just hit them all, except report. I'd appreciate if you didn't hit that button. Thanks. I mean, unless you think something needs to be reported. I don't think I've done anything wrong, but you never know. I'm so excited for the SummerSlam. Oh, I could actually... I could seed the top 8 into the bracket tonight. Or I could wait until the qualifier. But I think it makes more sense to seed the bracket with the top 8 we have. And then seed in the people from the qualifier. When that happens on Wednesday. It doesn't really make any difference. But it could be kind of fun to have a partial bracket up. Oh, maybe I should seed the bracket now, because then I can tell the players when they're going to be needed on what days. So at least they'll know. And then just the players who qualify won't have quite as much time of knowing when they're going to have to play. But no. Makes sense. I'm glad we talked that through. Thank you for your help, chat. I appreciate it. We're getting into game 4 now. Let's stand back up. You know, standings, it's good for casting because it's good for the diaphragm. And that's where all your vocal support comes from. I'll try to help educate everybody on vocalizing here. What I'm going to vocalize is the name of this player. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner of altitude. It is our red Terran, Cure. Finally getting himself a point on the board. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner giving us a pretty aggressive and very kind of weird game 3 there. Let's see if he goes back to the macro style in game 4. His Dragon Kites's herO. Oh my god, he's put down a gateway. Oh man, imagine how cool it'd be if we saw a Forge. You know, so there were recently some balance changes suggested for StarCraft 2. I don't know what the ETA is on those. I don't know when patches go through. We're very non-standardized in StarCraft right now. The patches are a lot of community suggestions and community feedback. But even a lot of the people that used to do a lot of balance feedback, pro players and the like, they're kind of busy like working on other RTS games now. So I don't know all the people who are suggesting changes and a part of that discussion. So things are getting a little bit weird. I also don't know if there's going to be a PTR, a patch test region before anything goes live, or it's really hard to say. Really hard to say what's going to happen. In any case, one thing that seems like it's going to get a bit of a buff is Proxy Void Race. Like Cannon Rush into Proxy Void, Proxy Tempest, that kind of thing. I don't know. Seems like it might get a bit of a buff. Somewhat inadvertent buff in the next patch. I don't mind it. I kind of miss seeing Proxy Voids. I know that the Terran players out there probably hate that. But I kind of wish it was a slightly viable strategy. I don't know. I guess if we don't see it at the high level, it won't matter. But I'd love to see Max Pax busted out against Clem in the grand finals of some tournament. It's just such a beautiful thing to see a cheese build well executed. There's nothing quite like it. Speaking of well executed, herO, a little bit supply blocked. Glad to see I'm not the only one who executes builds flawlessly and gets supply blocked a little bit. Listen, it happens to the best. But it is another robo opening for herO. He's going to put down those 2 gateways at the front. He's going to put some more pressure on with the Warp Prism and some gateway units. Now herO is opening, or Cure rather, is opening with the, I think it's 2 Reapers and a Hellion. It's 1 less Reaper now. No, I guess it was just 1 Reaper, 1 Hellion this game for Cure. And then into some Marines, and it looks like a Widowmine drop. I guess I should be clear, I haven't really analyzed the patch notes at all. I was on vacation this past week, so I saw that they were out, but I wasn't in a place to look at them or test anything or see what's going on with the new patch. I haven't even watched the videos on it that people have made. So I don't know all that's going on with the new patch. And again, I don't know how much of that's going to end up getting through. It'll be really interesting to see what ends up going through with the patch. Now the Widowmines are here defensively, and down goes the Prism. Oh no, it stays alive. Got 8 hit points on it. Marines trying to get the kill here. Woo! And Somehow herO gets out of there with 1 Stalker and 1 Adept in that 8 hit point prism. I thought for sure it died. I was waiting for the debris to fall from the sky. The Widow Mines don't quite kill it. The Marines didn't have the range to stop those pickups from coming out. herO does get out of there with a very wounded prism. Now Cure's Widow Mine drop, of course, not going to head across the map. He's keeping those Widow Mines back at home. But he is going to send the Marines across, hoping the bunker can hold. With the prism being so low, maybe herO won't hit the main again. But herO just goes right back in. This is where the mine was earlier. herO just goes right back in, and suddenly these 8 Marines and this medevac being out on the map feels so bad for Cure. Oh no, this tank is just in the worst spot. And down it goes. The Marines that are out are going to go down. The auto turret gets taken out. The Widow Mine moves forward. It's actually going to get a hit. No, the hot pickup. It just does friendly fire to the SCVs. The Marines in the back trying their best to do some DPS, but 12, 13 workers going down. Oh, this is looking so bad for Cure as herO gets a lot of those units out of there too. Now the Marines are going to hit the main, but herO just goes for the recall. Looks like he is going to lose a probe or 2. Prism takes a little bit of damage, but I think herO's just going to be able to clean this up. Does lose a few units for it, but it's well worth it to stop those probes from dying. He got so many kills on the other side of the map. But herO, again, going for Storm on 2 bases, no third in sight. So he gets a bunch of worker kills. Oh my god, that Stalker died. herO going to be forced to warp in 2 more Stalkers. Where did that Prism go? Prism's on the other side of the map. Medevac is going to get away. 2 more probes go down. Again, no third from herO. No third from Cure either. Storm is on the way. It looks like herO. Okay, herO is finally going to go take a 3rd base. Quite a bit earlier than last game. He's also got Blink this game, which is really, really good. That Prism comes in, scares all of those SCVs away. The Templar Archives was spotted. The Prism is super low. 1 Storm goes down. A 2nd Storm is going to land, but it doesn't actually hit anything except the Prism. Oh! The Archon tries to morph, but the High Templar both go down. The Prism goes down. And I think maybe 1 more SCV died. 1 more SCV died to that Storm drop. Beautiful defense from Cure, and herO diving in with that low hit point Prism not paying off as Cure responded beautifully, pulling the SCVs on the low ground and killing everything involved in that drop. herO, of course, does have the quicker 3rd. He's still up workers. But it feels like Cure's in a pretty commanding lead right now. He's got a big army lead. He's got a very powerful ground army. herO, he got Blink. He does have a few Stalkers that are kind of just around. They're not really doing too much at the moment. Another Prism has popped out for another Storm drop. This is the most herO thing you can possibly do, is have a strategy, do the strategy. The strategy doesn't work, so you just do the exact strategy again, even later, when it should work even less. hero's going to dive in. There are 2 Widow Mines here. There's a bunker as well. The Storms go down. This time he gets 3 kills before that Prism runs away. You know what? I mean, that went better. It went better than last game. Cure, though, dives in with another Marine drop. This time they have Stim. 3. Oh, no, I thought it was 3 probes. The Robo's going to go down. It looks like the Medevac's dead, so the Marines are stuck here. But they'll at least get a Stalker. 2 Stalkers for their trouble. Where'd that Prism go, by the way? Oh, no, dude. Oh, no, that Prism with the 2 High Templar in it died. At some point on the other side of the map. What? Oh, that's the boost. I got so confused what this was. Wow. So that Prism, I don't know where it ended up, but herO losing even more High Templar. He's lost 5 of them this game and 2 Prisms. He's going to run across the map. He's building double Robo back at home. He has no Prism with this, so he doesn't have any way to reinforce. Oh, no, and he's running across with 14 Zealots, and he never built Charge. He recalls. He just goes home. It looks like there is a drop out here. I don't know if herO saw that and that's why he recalled it. Looks like it. There's another drop though. This third base feeling very exposed right now. Oh, it's not a drop. It's a Raven. Dropping 3 auto turrets. Oh no, high tempo, no. 8 probes going down. Cure is fighting for this game, and he's honestly making a really good fight for it. He's got 1-1 finished up. He starts up the armory in the second eBay, so 2-2's going to be a ways away. But he does have a third base landing. Worker count is very similar here, so as he gets mining from this third base, should be relatively equal income. herO does start up +2. His charge is almost done. He's got double immortal production before the Robo Bay finishes up. Right now, herO just playing defensively. So far, his aggression this game, it's been kind of hit or miss. Playing defensively might be the way to go. It looks like this medevac's going to boost back in. A feedback goes down, but that does not kill that medevac. It's just going to slightly damage it. Looking forward from the Stalkers to fight here, but Cure's also pushing in on this fourth. There's some ghosts for some EMPs. Super shield battery turns on though, and that's going to keep these units all shielded up. Another storm hits. Widowmine gets a decent connection, but that storm is enough to push Cure backwards. herO knows that was a good start to the fight for him. He's going to try to chase this army away, but Cure turns back around. He's going to try to push in and maybe actually go for the big Doom drop in the main. Let's see. Recall was used too recently. herO does not have a recall available, and that is a Doom drop. If I've ever seen one. I mean, it is just 3 full medevacs. Not the hugest drop in the world, but that's pretty big. It looks like a storm's going to land dead center of this army. But there's still a lot of damage output available here for Cure. He's going to kill the Cyber Core. Gets a couple of probe kills. The blink forward, though, it's going to be 2 dead medevacs, both of which had units in them. Cure gets out of there with a handful of units, but suddenly I don't know if that was worth it. He just lost a lot of bio doing that. And he just killed a couple of buildings. Actually wasn't that big of a drop, all things considered. herO keeps the 4th base alive. Most of the probes stay alive. He's got Colossi coming out now. There are some Vikings here for Cure, and he still has this Raven, which has enough for a shutdown. The 4 Immortals on the ground are going to be huge. Shuts down the Prism, but that means the Colossi are going to stay up and running, at least for now. I don't know where the Stalkers are, but the EMPs are huge here. The Immortals and the Archons just getting blasted down. Oh, the Prism goes down. That fresh warp-in does not happen. Does Cure have enough to push through this army, though? He takes down one of the Colossi. The other one getting targeted, but it's doing a lot of damage in the meantime. More Zealots show up, but there are Widowmines here to deal with them as well. Splash damaging a lot of them now. It's just a few Zealots and a few Stalkers. This bio army from Cure is at 90 supply, and Cure is just going to have too much here. He is overrunning this 4th base, pushing this army all the way back. He's going to kill another Colossus. Oh, and that's got to be it. It looks like Cure is going to tie up this series 2-2. GG. Top down. herO looked unstoppable in games 1 and 2. Even cleaning up what looked like a very dicey position in game 2. But games 3 and 4, he's busting out this kind of weird, like, heavy aggression strategy. Honestly, it feels kind of like a Max Pax move, which is kind of cool to see. Max Pax likes to play these aggression-based styles where he starts off with just 1 or 2 units and then works up to more and more units, and it snowballs. He keeps the units alive so that they snowball as he picks off more and more of the Terrans units. It's a very common thing for Max Pax to try to do, and it's cool to see herO try to do something like that here. It felt like it was working very well at the beginning, but then the follow-up so far has felt really lackluster. The Storm drop just did absolutely nothing. The counter drop from Cure did a lot of damage. Cure handling it very, very well, but it feels like the transition to mid-game for herO is dicey at best. As so far, it just hasn't worked for him at all. And now as we get into game number 5, we're on Babylon. We're all tied up. This is the final game of the 25th iteration of the KSL Weekly Tournament, the Korean StarCraft League. And spawning in the upper left-hand corner, it is Cure looking for his second KSL win here, fighting for his life. His opponent looks so strong today. Started off with a 2-0 in this series. But I don't know if he can close it out. It's Dragon Kites's herO. He's looking for his 7th KSL victory, which is a lot. That's a lot of victories. You're trying to stop him though. I feel like this is more herO shooting himself in the foot than anything else. Like, he's doing this weird ass build these last couple of games that I just don't understand. Like, I kind of don't get it. Especially like game 3, it was kind of fun that he pulled it out. Then game 4, he just does the same thing. The like 3-gate robo gateway man pressure into quick storm. You know what really killed herO in that last game too was he pushed across the map with a bunch of zealots, then realized he didn't have charge and immediately recalled. And I feel like that just killed any momentum herO could have gathered. I don't know. Ended up being kind of a weird game. I hope herO does something a little bit different this game. I don't want to see another opening like that. It was a cool robo gateway opening, but I feel like he needs to transition to something different if that's what he's going to go for. Just a single Reaper opening, excuse me, out of Cure this game. No double Reaper action. herO goes for a Twilight Council right on the front lines, which is very interesting. And it might be kind of tough for Cure to scout that. It's either going to be tough or extremely easy. It's kind of a weird thing where, like, usually the Reaper doesn't push up the ramp, so he might just not see this. He could go for the jump over the gateway. He's not going to, though. The Adept on the other side of the map being mildly annoying here. But let's see. See, the Reaper just doesn't go up here sometimes.
Base is under attack.
And that's going to allow herO to get this blink started up before Cure really knows what he's up against. He doesn't see any tech here. Looks like the Adept on the other side of the map just escapes. It escapes. Yep. More gates going down and the robo. There's gate number 3 to bring us up to 4. As herO's just going to go for the good old classic 4-gate robo, or 4-gate blink, excuse me. And put that blink pressure onto Cure. I love to see Protoss players, the high skill, very good micro Protoss players bust this out in a series. Because a lot of times the high level, we just don't see this for a little bit. We'll see a bunch of games where different strats come out, maybe those Phoenix builds, Colossi, even charge lots like today. But it's sometimes you gotta fall back on the old standards, you know? And it's cool to see herO bust this out here in game 5. Series is on the line. And he's just gonna go for it, especially after those first 2 games, or the last 2 games, excuse me. Cure's gonna scout no third, and he might be expecting more of that kind of weird gateway pressure. Or at this point, he might just not really know what he's up against. But he is gonna hit with a Widowmine drop. Oh, blink is done though. This Widowmine drop might be just completely dead. herO is absolutely in position, and down it goes. The Widowmines will get out. Ooh. Get 1 probe kill. All of that goes down. Okay, 2 probe kills, excuse me. But now Cure knows what he's up against, right? He's got to put down bunkers. I feel like he needs a bunker on the high ground. He doesn't have any tanks out right now, and actually he's not even swapping to get tanks. He's trying to get stim and concussive shells up. herO is not going to give him time, though. He's going to blink straight up to the high ground. That is going to be not a bunker. Ooh, actually, he doesn't kill the SCV. Bit of a missed target there from herO. Oh, he's just going to blink on top of this. goes for the pickups to get these stalkers to safety. SCV's getting pulled, but this feels very, very dire for Cure. He does have a couple of Marauders help out. Those help quite a bit. He's going to be able to blink the stalkers back. He kills 12, 13, 15, 17, 18 SCVs. A couple of probes do go down in the main, but only 3 as the Hellion gets cleaned up. The bunker on the low ground goes down, and suddenly Cure, he's just in so much trouble. Marauder getting targeted down, and then the stalkers blink back. They've picked off so many workers. Cure's economy is in the garbage right now, and there are so many stalkers left. herO blinks forward. He thinks he's got it. Does he have it? I think he does. This is looking like the death throes of a Terran as herO busts out the 4-gate blink build and takes down game number 5. GG. herO wins his 7th KSL, closes out the first half of our year in KSLs with a victory. He has the most so far with 7 gold medals. Heading into the SummerSlam, herO, he's looking like he might be the KSL favorite.